Speaking of like going out and events and all that stuff, I see you've been hosting a lot of parties and all that stuff. Talk to us about that, man. Like, how's that experience? Crazy stories. Like, what's been? How's that whole side of the
It's been fun. I'll do some clubs here and there. I do a lot of hosting, like culture shows or university frosh stuff, and then I work with another company, I Love Travel, and I'll do grad trips. I'll go like Bahamas, Cuba.
Oh, dope, man. Stuff. Dope.
Those are the places where you see like the wilder type of things. But it's fun, like just getting to travel, going to places that I probably wouldn't go on my own. Like I realistically don't think I would be in Cuba like on my own money, or going to Bahamas. Like Bahamas is expensive, so it's fun. I've seen some crazy things. Like I just realized that when people go on vacation, like they feel like it's not their real life anymore. So the way that they move on vacation, you'll be like, yo, you are acting unusual. Like this is not you. And then when they go back home, they want to act like what they just did in Bahamas didn't happen. Yeah. But no, it happened because I have it on Snap. So you can try and hide all you want to, but it gets wild. But for the most part, it's cool. The shows, like the frosh stuff, is probably the most lit because that's when people are like focused on turning up and having fun. Yeah. Shorties be violating sometimes.
For real. Like what do you mean? What do you mean shorties? What is that? What do you mean by that? Shorties be violating? What does that mean?
There's multiple times where I'll be on stage or like standing on the fence in front of the crowd, and people are like pulling on my shirt, pulling my pants, grabbing my dick, like whoa, wow, like they don't
for real,
like they don't care.
And this is at like universities, like in Ontario. This is at universities right now. They're getting that education. You're saying they're getting that education.
They don't care when people are off the liquor. They don't care.
So what school, like, you know, you've been going to froshes and stuff. What school is like the craziest like frosh week so far that you experienced?
I'd have to give it to
y'all can't hear this song and not go crazy. I need that circle. Y'all gotta make that circle, bro. We're turning up to this track. I need that circle. Make the circle. Make that circle. I need y'all to go crazy on this track, y'all. I need y'all to go crazy.
But Windsor's really far. If it wasn't far, I probably would have went more often. But Brock was super fun. Brock, for real. Yeah, Brock, they know how to turn up.
For real, man. So speaking of like universities and froshes and all that stuff, and normally at those things there's like music. Was there any like Toronto artists that were there, or just like kind of like international artists, like or artists from the States, like that you're like hosting for?
Ryerson, they had Sean Leon, and it was Miguel, Joey Badass, and Sean Leon.
Holy!
So that was the first time I've heard of Sean Leon, but I never listened to any of his music before. He could perform live, like he's really good.
That's dope, man.
So after that, I became a fan. And Miguel can sing like live. Yeah, he can sing. Joey Badass killed it too. That was probably the most fun one. But outside of Canada, I was in Daytona. Yeah. Cause I was doing a trip there called D2D, so it was like Dayton to Daytona, and Waka Flocka can perform. I remember they told me like the X amount of dollars that they paid for him, and I was like, why are you gonna pay Waka that? But after he performed, like I knew, came with
that energy.
I told him, I'm like, yo, put me on stage, like I have to be there. He took off his chains, jumped in the crowd, jumped in the pool with the mic, was turning up in the pool with everyone. We had to pull him back over the stage. That's crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, that guy's catalog is full of energy, man. Yeah, full of energy.
He can perform.
Yeah, man. So it seems like you're traveling a lot, man. You're doing a lot of things, man. Like, so talk about that. Like, how did you get into that? Like, how did you start traveling and doing the different things and doing all that?
I've just never liked to stay in the same place for a long time, whether it's school or traveling or whatever. Yeah. And I have family around the world, so a majority of the time I'll just go somewhere, stay with some family, or I make it a point to make friends in cities that I know I'm gonna go to. Yeah. So I'll do that, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram or someone like, usually like other creative people or something. Yeah. And then just fortunately, just the jobs that I've been getting, like the one company I work with, or just like the things that happen, clubs or whatever. I went to Ottawa. I'm not going to Ottawa by myself. Yeah. Like, it has to be a reason. So, you know, it's just the things that
it's like a business, doing. You know, you got to go for business, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of like, you know, the music side of in Toronto, man. There's a lot of artists that are popping off, man. Like you see like a lot of young boys like LB Spiffy and these mans are just making moves and stuff, man. What do you think about like Toronto scene, man? Do you think it's like compared to other scenes? Do you think it's like is it flopping or is it popping?
I feel like we're definitely on the come up. My one critique that I just hope people like, I just want it to get through people's head is to like just originality. Like I just feel like we have a lot of people that make a lot of good music, but a lot of the music sounds exactly the same. Like everything sounds the same. So I just feel like compared to other scenes, I feel like since we're still kind of new, like we're still building our way up, we don't like, I personally don't know what the Toronto sound is
per se.
So it's kind of hard for it to stand out. So I feel like we kind of need to create an identity within being original. Like if you hear a YG song, you know he's from California. If you hear a Fat Joe song, you know that's from New York. You hear a Migos song, you know that's from Atlanta, you know? But within, like, say Atlanta, Migos don't sound like Waka. Waka doesn't sound like Young Thug. Young Thug doesn't sound like Gucci. Gucci doesn't sound like JID. You know, there's a lot of different range. Things. So I feel like we just need to highlight the originality because we're kind of getting like pigeonholed into one type of sound.
So what do you think? It's more or less like we're just doing too much trap. We're not like, because you're saying like, before, even like, there's a lot of cultures from Toronto, right? So there's like a lot of like even Afro beats, even dance hall. You know what I mean? Even like hip hop, obviously. Even like the Punjabi scene too, right? There's
some of those are banging.
Yo, they're banging, man. They're banging.
Bangers.
So you're saying we should embrace that more and kind of like be true to ourselves?
Yeah, I feel like our token is that we're so multicultural, and I feel like it should reflect in the music. But right now, I don't really think it reflects in the music. It's more just like the drilly, auto-tune-ish, trappy type of thing that people are focusing in on. But it's like, yo, if you expand that, like, it's your culture. Like a majority of us, not even a majority, it's Canada. All of us know where we're from. Like Americans don't really know where they're from.
That's true.
So I feel like just explore it. Like everyone has their own sauce.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think we, like variety, like you said, man, is be yourself, be original. Don't try to like, be, follow the trends and follow what's going on.
Well, obviously that's like the people that are still on the come up. Obviously the guys at the top, like Drake, Tory, all of them, they still like, they put on.
Yeah, like there's like like we interviewed this another artist called Easy Rider, and we were saying he loves Drake, and I'm like, what, he wants to have Drake on his song, but I'm like, which Drake though? Like, you know what I mean? There's a dancehall like Drake, there's a merengue Drake, you know what I mean?
Drake,
like R&B Drake, you know what I mean? So like that's going back to what you're saying. He's multifaceted and going in all those different buckets.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand like when people try to say he's like trying to bite people's cultures. No. I just don't think they understand how Toronto is. Like all the different cultures are a part of us.
Exactly, man. And we can borrow from different cultures and things, right? Like, yeah, even for me growing up, man, like, there's like mad Filipinos, mad Africans, mad everybody, mad Indians, mad everybody. We're kind of just like a big melting pot, right?
Exactly.
Like,
I have so much songs on my phone that I have no idea what the people are saying because it's not in English. But the songs are bangers. So I'm still gonna listen to it.
Yeah. So speaking of that, man, so we got the rappers, but now let's talk about like people like you, like Instagram personalities or Instagram, like people doing skits. Like, who do you think is bigger, like the rappers right now, or like people like you who are actually making comedy and making like dabbling in everything, like being multifaceted almost, like doing music, doing parties, doing everything?
I feel like there's more rappers that are like on notice. So I feel like just by default, like there's more of them that are higher up, but the creatives are definitely like on the come up. Toronto has a bunch of creatives that are super, super, super talented. So eventually I think it's going to even out.
Yeah, I agree too, man. There's a lot of creative people in Toronto, man. And speaking of Toronto, I've also seen that you've been to the UK. So, a lot of people...
the ends, you get me. Old tight cat foot in that.
Don't know still. But, like a lot of people compare Toronto to UK just because of the demographics and all that. Like, you've been there. So, like, how do you compare the two? Like, how does Toronto stack up to UK?
It's the same place with different weather and different accents, and things just close at a different time. Like, I feel like it comes from both sides. Like, Toronto people think London people steal the slang from us, and then London people think Toronto people steal the slang from them. And I don't know why people don't realize that the common denominator is West Indians, but like that's just what it is. That's why when you're over there, it just feels like here. Like it's not a lot of different. Like the culture is still the same. People know their roots, know where they're from. You're gonna hear dancehall, you're gonna hear Afrobeat, soca, all that type of stuff. True. The slang is about 80% the same. Yeah. Just like a 1-2 things might be a little bit different, but
like what though? Like what's different?
Like there'll be certain words that'll be different, or just the way they say things. Like you know how we'll be like man's this and man's that or whatever. They just say man, like no S, but it's used in the exact same way. So yeah, it'd be like, yo, man, I'm going to the store, man, just link the gal, like that type of stuff. So
just drop the S.
Yeah. It's just little things like that make it a little bit different. That's why they think that the other place is stealing from them. It's like
biting them and stuff, but they don't realize like it's the same demographics.
Yeah,
like,
but I love London. Yeah. Yeah, London was so much fun.
Yeah, and you went to, where did you go? You go to Notting Hill?
Yeah.
How was that, man? Like, how was that compared to like Caravana?
Honestly, it's Caravana on steroids.
For real.
Yo, they are not playing about the police. Yeah,
for real.
Because Notting Hill, it's not just one area. Like it's not like just going down Lakeshore. It's like imagine Lakeshore, but a road goes that way with trucks, and then a road goes that way with trucks. And if you keep going up, another road goes that way with trucks.
Real.
And another road goes that way with trucks. But also along the roads, there's stages with actual performers. You can drink. You can actually drink on road. I have a video of me cheersing a cop taking a Henny bottle to my face.
Oh my God, that's crazy, man.
Food trucks on road.
That's crazy.
There's no like barriers. There's no gates. People don't have to break down the gates.
You have to get into the parade.
Yeah, nah. The most it is, it's just like people holding ropes to keep the mass like in line. Yeah. But that's it. The police, there's obviously a lot of police, but they're chilling. They're not really doing nothing to you. Yeah. You're going by people's house, like you're going by people's houses.
For real.
Yeah, because it's like a resident. I don't know why they chose their Notting Hill to do it, but it's like a residential area.
For real, bro.
So there's people in their showers facing the road dancing to the music outside.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It was so much fun.
That's crazy.
But man, I can see how if you live there and you've gone a lot of times, it could get overwhelming because it's a lot of people. Like it's probably literally like Caravana, probably times 3 or 4. So
for real, is that many
can't
people?
Move. Yeah.
Fuck, man. And I guess it's still like all obviously soca, dancehall they're playing and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but speaking of the music down there, like who's your favorite artist from like the UK, man? Like who are you listening to, man?
I don't even know where to start. There's 2 sides to it because there's the UK rap side and then there's the UK like drill side. So rap, I have to go Stormzy,
Big Zo Stormzy,
Skepta,
of course.
Dave is amazing, ridiculous. Yeah. J Hus, Notes, One Ace and Hardy Caprio. Like I listen to a lot of UK music. And then the drill rappers, they're super hard too. RV, 6'7", 410, Fredo,
Big Fredo,
Heady One. There's so many. Like UK music is actually really, really good.
Yeah. So like how did do you know like a lot about their scene and like how did they come to prominence? Like I feel like they've been doing their stuff for a minute now, but like now it's kind of like, you know, even with like Drake going there and doing like Top Boy and all that stuff, and you know he has songs with Skepta and stuff too. Like, what do you think is the difference between their scene and our scene?
They definitely had a slow build as well. I feel like that's kind of the common thing, and I think they kind of got on just because, in my opinion, Skepta was the one that started it because he kind of broke through to like across the water, like America, Canada and stuff. And then people don't want to give Drake his credit, but Drake has a lot to do with just the world more accepting UK music because I remember 2-3 years ago I'll be bumping UK music and people would be like, bro, what is this, turn it off. And now those same people are bumping all the UK music. I feel like Drake has a lot to do with it. Well, obviously it comes down to the talent, but I feel like since Drake started messing with it, people are more receptive to it. It's not like he made it cool, but people are just more receptive to it.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. Like When did I start getting into UK music? Yeah, probably around the same time when, you know, Drake was, you know, introducing it to the masses. But even before that, like there's bands like Dizzy Rascal, like the couple track. Yeah, exactly. But it was more like there's a faster BPM and stuff.
Like grime.
Right? Yeah, grime. Yeah, like a lot of grime. Even like Gets. Like there's a lot of those guys. Those freestyles are just crazy, man.
Crazy.
Like crazy freestyles, man. Like I guess that's another thing that's similar between Toronto and the UK is a multiculturalism.